Matt Step Day campus Texas football back here. The final day of the Texas High School Coaches Association Convention. Beautiful East Texas premier head coach of the Marshall Mavericks, Jack Alvarez.
No problem, man.
It's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yes, sir. Actually, did about a year or two.
I don't think I've seen you since you got to Marshall. So, first of all, congrats on the as the year went on, kids really just looking at things. Obviously, no one. There's only one team at the end of the year really truly happy. But I thought you got out. When you look back at the totality of your season, you got to be happy to kind of see what you got. You guys proved as the best.
Oh, we got better and better. I'd like to think most of our teams get better as the year goes. I think a large part of it wasn't so much offensive and defensive as we win. I think it was more of expectations and how I expected them to play, and just the gelling of the team and the coaching.
And you look ahead to the 2023 season. I think there's a lot of excitement around town, but to get to that point, you got to have a good off season. You got to have a good summer strength and conditioning, and you got to be able to kind of put all that together and be healthy and be going into 2023 kind of with the arrow pointed up. So how did the off season go, and what was the biggest focuses that you and your coaching staff have with your kids?
Well, I think going in this year, offense and defensive line, that's where we probably lost the most. Skill-wise, we got a lot of those kids back on both sides of the ball, offense, defense. Our outside linebacking core and our DBs ought to be the strength of our defense, and then offensively should be our receivers, running back, and quarterback, and a tight end. We got a tight end back. So we got a lot of young guys up front. So again, I think our best football is going to come towards the end of the year, and really that's when you want to be your best.
You want to be peaking going into November, right?
Heck yeah! I mean, if you can get in, that's the goal for everyone, is to get in and play as long as you can.
Because once you get in, everybody's 0-0 again, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I'll say this: I've never heard a coach tell me he could have too many offensive and defensive linemen.
No, well, I'm not going to say it. I got some good young kids. I'm not saying we don't have any guys. I'm just saying that that's where we're going to have to really mature the fastest.
You've been doing this a little while. Do you feel like that's where that growth curve is the steepest, is in the trenches, because you got to be physical, and if you're a young guy, you're a 15-year-old sophomore, and you're going up maybe against an 18-year-old senior, there's some physical differences there.
That's like I had a guy tell me one time. I was a freshman in college, and I thought I was going to get it. He said, "How old are you?" And I told him, I'm 18. He goes, "Well, I'm 21." He said, "I could whip your butt when you was in ninth grade because I was a senior." In your head, you just don't. Sometimes you can't get over. You're young, but we've treated these guys. We've treated our freshman and sophomore groups like they were juniors and seniors all year, and we've set those expectations for them to be physical and be strong and play like you're supposed to play. So we're not.
I'm not away from it, right?
I'm not dreading it. I can't wait to see these guys and how they grow.
And I'm assuming that the attendance at summer strength and conditioning has been great. You've been happy with that?
It's been good. We had that storm back. I guess it was in June. We had a pretty bad storm over there, some straight line winds, and that set us back about a week. But once the kids figured out, hey, we missed a week. I put a little sense of urgency in them. It's been really, really good. And you can say what you want. There's almost no install anymore. I mean, you think about back in the day, you had an install plan. Now you got to have a plan to keep everything going to where everything's getting the right amount of work. And if you do it right, there's no install. Everybody just hits the ground running, and you're practicing for week one.
And you look, I'm assuming that the UIL giving you guys that hour of sport-specific time in the summer is really helpful for you guys to get ahead of the curve.
Oh, they've done a great job of giving us what we need. And the thing about it is, when the UIL did that, it helped us not have our kids farmed out all over to different places, and allowed us to keep our hands on our kids. And you say what you want. You say, well, that's more work for you coaches, but if you know what coaches do every day, that's really what we want to do. That's why we signed up.
Yeah, work is part of the job, right?
That's part of the job, but it's not work. If you look at it right, it's not work.
I feel like if you weren't working, you start to get bored after a while. Coaches like to be busy, don't they?
We like to be busy, and we like to look forward to things. That's like, everybody knows I love to fish, but if I was fishing every day, I would look forward to it.
There you go. And you're looking forward to 2023 because you're undefeated right now, right?
I'm undefeated.
There you go. Well, let's talk about the convention a little bit. It's going to wrap up this afternoon. The general meeting is a little later on today. I'm excited to see the numbers from the convention. It's been a great turnout. You've been a part of the convention, past president of the association. I feel like the growth of this convention, there's always been great turnout on the football side of things. Football coaches always come to this convention, but I feel like the outreach that THSCA has done to the other sports, especially the girls' sports, to get them involved is really taking this convention to the next level.
It really has. Joe, his vision, and Glenn, and just the outreach to the other sports and making it available and all the, I mean, just like the demonstrations going on right now.
We got volleyball going over right there.
Right here, basketball over here. And, you know, if you really look at coaches are coaches, and right as I was going out, you know, we wanted to be known as the high school, you know, Coaches Association, not just, you know, the boys or the football. And that outreach and vision has helped this thing grow tenfold.
And you want, I mean, you're there at Marshall. You're a Marshall Maverick. You want every sport to be good. You're a competitive guy. You want those guys and girls to be good. When I show up at a basketball game or a baseball or softball game, I'm not showing up to watch us lose. I can tell you that. I want to see us be competitive and play to win. And I know when y'all win in those other sports, you're just you're fired up, aren't you? You're ready to go.
Fired up, and it makes my job. That's what they don't realize. That makes my job way better. I mean, if not, you're always having little conferences and side things going on about other sports. Whereas if they can take care of themselves and be sufficient and win and those things, man, it's way better on the athletic director.
There you go.
I promise.
And then the next day after a big Marshall Maverick win, everybody's feeling good about things in town, right?
Everybody's happy.
There you go. Final question for you, Coach. Look at your district. One thing I noticed about y'all's district last year was how competitive it was week in and week out. You know, the difference between number 1 and number 6 or number 7 is not very much. When you're dealing with those small margins, it's I feel like for y'all when you're going into these games, you got to take care of the little things, right? You got to have, you know, play clean football, no penalties, no turnovers, because if you're the number 1 team in the district, if you put the ball on the ground or you have a few untimely penalties, you can lose to the last place team in the district real quick.
I mean, first, second, third, and fourth was all last week of our district season. Nothing was completely sewed up. So it was a lot of fun. You know, special teams, penalties, turnovers, those are the things that do make a difference in those big games. When I look at the district, and I know I figured you're fixing to ask me that. I mean, I think we're a top 4 team. I think T-High still the team to beat. I think White House will be much improved. I think Pine Tree will be much improved, and I think. But I do think. I mean, I think
Hallsville had a great year last year.
Great year last year. They lost some great. I mean, they got some guys back. That quarterback was a very special player.
Mount Pleasant should be better, right?
Their tight end Mount Pleasant should be better. Everybody should be a little better. Yeah. So I look forward to a real competitive year.
A lot of good coaches, a lot of good talent in that district,
yes,
right?
Sir.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we'll let you get to the convention. Appreciate you taking a few minutes this morning to chat with us.
Thanks,
good to see you again, and we'll when you get to Marshall and watch the Mavericks play this year.
Come on.